So here's a question everybody is asking themselves. What do you do when the vision that was sent by God, all the planning that you've done, all the consulting, all the YouTube videos, the LLCs you have established, the trust that they have convinced you on Instagram to go and establish? What do you do when the business that you put all your chips on doesn't work? What do you do when the thing that was supposed to be the end all be all to get you financially free, to get you out of that job, doesn't work, but now you have to stay at that job a little longer when you were so sure you were getting ready to leave, and now you have to take this glorious, magnificent vision and take it back to ground zero and figure out what to do? Well, let me tell you what I know now when you're still stuck on the bridge. So, your beautiful vision, the thing that you dreamed, the thing that you have been contemplating on, you closed your eyes, you meditated on it, you did vision boards on it, you told everybody you were going to do it, you made this big 5-year plan, and then all of a sudden, you're at the 4th year, going into the 5th year, and ain't shit happened. You're still working at the job you hate. You're still working around people that you don't like and probably don't like you. What do you do when everything that you laid out doesn't happen? It falls apart in one way or another, and you have to put yourself back on track. The first thing that you have to realize is that you're never starting from ground zero. You're starting from ground one. Information gives you one level up. There are essentially no L's, and they feel like an L. A L is like a loss or like losing for those who kind of aren't really into the like colloquialism of I got an L, I got a W, but it's kind of like pulled from the sports world and then kind of thrown into the hip hop world. Like I ain't taking no L's, that like the whole losing thing. But when you go into a loss, how do you deal with that? You never start from ground zero. You always start from ground one. Information always puts you ahead. You need information before innovation. The vision didn't die, that version of the vision did. There are a lot of reasons why a vision doesn't die, but the version of it dies. It basically transforms because the vision is coming out of you. Example, say you want to start a clothing line, and it was coming from a place where you really were feeling very self-conscious. So during my first weight loss journey that I was going through, yes, my very first weight loss journey where I lost all the weight and then you gain the weight back and then you fall in love and then they tell you I'm never gonna leave you, and then you just start doing all this extra eating and y'all always going out, and then that never turns into like somebody else that they meet, and then you gain the weight back on. And so like by now, this is like my 2nd, 3rd, 4th weight loss journey, whatever the case may be. It's called a journey because the road just keeps on mapping around, but I digress. My very first weight loss journey, I had someone that I was dating at the time, and I remember them saying to me like, oh, you have to tuck your stomach into your pants. And so I remember saying like, I'm gonna get super skinny and I'm gonna be a 30 by 32, which is the perfect jean size, and I'm gonna come out with my own clothing line, and I'm gonna be this and that. But it was coming from a very inauthentic place. I may have had like a vision for clothing and to get it out, but the intention, the reason as to why I wanted to do that wasn't really coming from an authentic place, but coming rather from a hurt place, coming from a place where I wanted to feel more accepted, not really just by people, but trying to prove a point. Take this lesson down. Whenever you shape, form, drive, push a vision without it being totally rooted in purpose, just to prove somebody wrong, to say, I told you I would have it, or I told you I would become that, that vision never stays long. Because eventually the thing that's driving you, whether it be hurt, whether you be feeling self-conscious, or whether you got broken up with and now you feel lonely and you're just producing this vision out of your loneliness, the moment you meet somebody, the vision starts to die because you no longer have that driver behind it. Having clear intentions on your vision as to how to bring it, coming from a place to where it's going to always be of service to help someone, or always coming from a place to where people can benefit or be enriched in their lives in some type of way, that vision will never make it. So as you change, the versions of your vision start to change until you find a solid ground, a knowing about yourself, and a full belief in this is what I'm supposed to do. Not because I'm hurt, not because they did say I wouldn't have it, but this is what I feel innately called to do. Experience gives you data. That's all it is. Example, you date somebody and they're not the best thing for you. Okay, well, that experience tells you that I want someone that's going to ABC and XYZ. Embracing every experience, whether it be negative, whether it be possible, is always feeding it, whether it be positive, always feeds you some type of data. What you choose to do with that data is totally on you. Now, you can stack and consume data and just become this angry ass bitch or this angry ass man who, you know, doesn't want to move on and everybody is my enemy and I'm not letting anybody get close to me. Or you could choose to take that data and say, this is what didn't happen, what I would have liked to see happen, or this is what did happen and I never want to see that again. Experience gives you data. The same thing within your business. When something does not work within your business, it gives you data. It is always telling you, don't do it that way, do it this way. So early on when I was establishing LLCs, and I was coming up with meeting with lawyers and things like that. So I would be like 19 years old. And so I would like Google a bunch of like lawyer terms. And lawyers back during that time were like, and still are, were very heavy with the like charging by the hour in their office. And so a lot of times they can sense when you don't know what it is that you should be asking, or what it is that what you should really be narrowing down. So life hack. Whenever you're getting ready to meet with lawyers, like nowadays we have ChatGPT and all of this AI help. But back then you had to literally sit there, Google, and try to figure out how to get your point across. So life hack, before you ever go and meet with a different lawyer, I would take what it is that I want, research it myself, come with your own notes, and you lead the conversation. Because like me, you'll walk out with no information and a $500 bill. And another life hack, just because they're $375 an hour or $400 an hour doesn't mean that they're competent or know what the fuck they're doing. They're just somebody that just passed the class. But so I started taking in my own timer and setting it for an hour. After I started getting so many $300, $400 bills and I wasn't producing anything, you start getting smart very, very quickly. And so I would walk into the lawyer's office with a Cook timer and I would pull it out and I would sit it on the desk and say, we have 55 minutes to figure this out or have this conversation. I'm not going above and I'm not going below. Because I had had such a negative experience, I could have said, all lawyers are bad and I'm never doing it again. But because I knew that it was something that I was going to have to work with, inevitably, I had to figure out a system as to how could I make this work for me. So just because something is a negative experience doesn't mean that you can't collect the data as to how to turn something that was negative into something that is positive, beneficial, or get what you fully want out of it. So when something fails, don't attach yourself to it emotionally. Like, don't kill yourself yet, bitch. Like, just pause for a second. Don't jump off the building. Don't walk in the middle of traffic, because if you give up, you die, then you'll never be able to figure out, how could I do this in another way? And one thing that I like to tell or help people understand, we sometimes equate our lives to a 30-second clip of what we see on Instagram. And so these are some of the things that just like, they send me. I mean, just like, I could literally take the phone and break it in two. So you got somebody who's like, they're on a weight loss journey. And you're like, I started out at 350 pounds. And 10 seconds later, they're now 180 pounds. And they're like, subscribe to my workout plan. No, bitch. Let's back it up, because that took you 2 years. And you want me to believe it took you 20 seconds. And that your 2-page workout plan is going to push me to lose 200 fucking pounds in the next 6 months. And they leave out the times they tried to pull up at Chick-fil-A on Sunday because they were just that big of a back of a person. All the times that they fucked up their diets because they got drunk and then they pulled into a restaurant late at night and ate and fell asleep in the drive-thru. Sounds very much like a personal story, but I digress. But pulled up sleeping late in the drive-thru, so I refuse to let people make me magically believe that they accomplished these wonderful goals right off the top and they never ran into any speed bumps because of a 30-second clip. And then now we buy into that. And here we are ready to die because it didn't happen as quickly for us as it did for them. The time stamp on that shit is not real. The result that they got, true enough, may be real, but the time stamp on that shit is like Hogwarts, Harry Potter, magic wand shit. That is not real. So save yourself the stress, save yourself the confusion. Walk it out yourself. You have to ask yourself, what did I learn? You're not on anybody else's time schedule but yours. You are not on anyone else's time schedule but yours. And I'm going to say that one more time to really make that stick. You are not on anybody else's time schedule but yours, whether that come to dating, whether that come to losing weight, whether that come to starting a business, a corporation, whatever it is, you have your own time stamp. Who told you that it had to be done within a year, 2 years, 3 years, shit, 10 years? Who told you that? People sometimes forget to add in the humanistic side of things. It's not going to happen for you like it did for everybody else. You can get the same result, but it's not going to come the same way. If you're a single mother with 3 children and you're trying to open up a cookie shop next to a person who's single with no children, it's not going to happen the same way. Your systems have to be specific to you and your life situation. It's not that it cannot happen, but but the systems have to be organic to you. So the next question that you have to ask yourself, what version of me was building this thing? And I go back to what I said earlier. Was I building this from a, I'm gonna get you, or was I building it from a, I told you I could do it, or was I building it from a hurt place? Because eventually, the body is self-healing. Your emotions are self-healing. Eventually, you start to get over the bullshit. You start to get over the person that left you. You start to get over the girl that dumped you. Eventually, you get over it. And when that is just your driving force, sometimes you can tap into that energy, but you don't want to live in that energy. You have to have something pushing you way past, and I'm gonna show you that I could do it when you said that I couldn't do it. I just really want to say this for the people who are still driving by exes' houses and still popping up at jobs, you know, just to be like, yo, you guys fired me and I'm still doing good. They don't care. They don't care. They're wondering like, what the fuck are you doing here? The people still driving by his house, her house, he's not coming outside anytime soon. He doesn't give a fuck about your new car. He doesn't give a fuck about the weight loss. He doesn't give a fuck. These 30-second clips where they're like, prove your ex wrong and go back on him and stunt on him. The days of that shit, he doesn't care. There is so much stimulation going on Instagram, Facebook, and DC. He does not fucking care. It's okay that he didn't want you. He's not gonna want you in the next version. Let it come from a place where it is totally about you. I always take it back to the bridge. I don't like to tell people here that best friend, like I hear so many influencers say best friend. Like best friend is a little triggering for me because my best friend fucked my man and we just stopped being friends, like, you know, after 20 years. So that has a different type of definition to me. But what I like to equate myself to is everyone's sidekick. Your sidekick is gonna walk that shit out with you. I'm on the bridge just like you. So don't come to me looking for the blueprint because I'm building right alongside with you. This is not a podcast where it's like, well, I made it and let me show you how you can do it too. And if you subscribe down here, I can show you how to, bitch, every day I'm still trying to make it. Every day is something new. Every day, nobody has made it. So get that out of your head. Get that out of your emotions. Look, they made it and they doing it. They're showing you what they want you to see, what we call controlling the narrative. They're giving you shadows and lighting. That is not them every day. So don't take it to heart just because whatever business you started, whatever marketing you were going for, whatever sales strategies you were trying to do did not work right away, doesn't mean that you are not going to make it. Who told you that you were not going to make it? And then who told you that you had to make it within a certain amount of time? The bridge is the place where you are, where you're at, and on that journey to where you're going. On that bridge, there are gonna be so many different versions of you. People die while you're on the bridge. People move, people have kids, people get married, people get divorced. There are going to be so many things that happen on the bridge. But the one thing that you have to do, and you have to fully embrace it or you will never get to where you really want to go, you have to fall in love with the bridge, or AKA what we could call the process. We hear it so many times, and I've heard it so many times from people, fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process. And it's like, what the fuck do you mean fall in love with the process? The process is fucking killing me, or I'm sick of the motherfucking process. I always equate it back to weight loss because this is like my first, not my second, not my third Life is like weight loss. Sometimes you yo-yo. Sometimes you have years of where you got it down pat and you're just solid in what you do. And then there are times where you just don't feel like entertaining it. You're gonna go through these string of emotions, but you have to keep walking. Don't die on the bridge, but by all means necessary, keep it moving. So, step one, shut the fuck up. Stop complaining. It didn't happen. It didn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen. Accept it, cry about it, do a journal entry, fast, pray, go eat, go drink, whatever you need to do to get past the disappointment. Embrace all of that. Be disappointed, be upset, be mad, but don't let it consume you. Deal with it or it will consume you. Getting past the disappointment is step one. Now you get back to refocusing and rebuilding. Forgiving yourself for why it did not work. It didn't work. And if I could, I would just reach out there and just grab you like, it's okay that it didn't work. Because a lot of shit just doesn't work. You have to figure out your systems, your templates, your team, the correct business from you coming from the correct place as to making it work. Forgive yourself for allowing it to come from a selfish place or a place where your intentions weren't totally correct, to where now you have to rebuild it and reshape it and you've invested all this money. That experience gave you data that is not the way that you need to operate business, and then move on from it. Be brave enough to show up again, rebuild, rebrand, and have a fresh idea. You can have the same vision, just in a different version. I know you're feeling there shaky, your confidence is shaking, the money's gone, the help you thought you had is not there. Keep walking the bridge. The bridge is not ending anytime soon. The only way your business won't happen is if you stop. Nobody can stop you. No amount of money can stop it from happening. You have to be the person to keep going, because the vision is yours. The version is different, but the vision is yours. Keep going. And the one thing that you have to remember is that you are not behind, but you are right on time.